nature's deadliest organisms.
I was very scared. We needed to know answers.
They hijack our bodies.
It felt like my head was put in a vice grip and my head was just going to be crushed.
Disable our immune systems.
It looked like the blood was just draining out of him. It was really scary.
And eat us from within.
I was afraid. She wasn't getting any better. What was wrong with her?
For those infected, Cicely Odom Rose lives in Memphis, Tennessee, with her 16-year-old daughter, Kennedy.
Kennedy is caring, intelligent, and kind. She's a great kid.
It's awesome. Like, she's always there for me. We tell each other everything.
Mom and daughter also share a special bond with Kennedy's godmother, Tamara.
My relationship with Cicely and Kennedy, it just works. We are very close.
My Aunt Tamara, she's really cool. I call her my second mom.
Tamara's not going to let you down. And so that's why I chose her to be Kennedy's godmother. We do a lot of things together. We take our trips, we go shopping.
Our lives are just really intertwined together.
It's a quiet Sunday morning in November. But as Cicely starts her day, she notices her daughter isn't her usual self.
When Kennedy first got up, she said that her head was hurting, that she was not feeling well.
It felt like someone was sitting on my head. I felt pressure all over.
The night before, the family went to a party, and Cicely figures her daughter is tired.
And I thought maybe she needs to rest. So I gave her some over-the-counter medication to treat the headache. And then I asked her to go lay down.
A couple of hours later, Cicely goes up to Kennedy's room to check on her.
She was just laying there. She was complaining that her head was hurting worse. And she had a slight fever.
But as Cicely takes her daughter's temperature, she spots something else.
And I noticed that her lips were kind of swollen and they were red. I wasn't that concerned. I thought maybe she had caught a cold or a virus from someone else that was attending the party. So after I noticed her lips were swelling, I gave her a cold compress and gave her something for the fever. I thought she would be fine.
But the following morning, Kennedy's condition hasn't improved. So Cicely takes her to a local clinic to have her checked out.
The doctor did a physical examination. And that's when she started complaining about her throat.
My throat felt like it was burning and I couldn't swallow anything. It felt like somebody was tearing my skin off.
The doctor takes a swab to check for an infection. And a few hours later, he has a diagnosis.
That's when they came back and said that she had strep throat.
Streptococcal pharyngitis, or strep throat, is a bacterial infection that causes inflammation and soreness. In many cases, the condition also leads to nausea, headaches, and fever. The doctor prescribes antibiotics for the infection and reassures Cicely it can be easily treated.
They told me she should be fine in a couple of days.
But one morning later that week, Kennedy's condition takes an alarming turn.
She woke up and she ran to the bathroom and started vomiting. Seeing her violently vomit, I knew that something was wrong.
Then, as Cicely tries to comfort her daughter, something unusual catches her eye.
When Kennedy was vomiting, because her mouth was open, that's when I saw the sores. The bumps were all over the inside and the outside of her mouth, and they were pus-filled. So they were white, red, and blotchy. At At this point, she's crying, and she is asking me what is wrong with me. I knew that I needed to take her back to the ER.
At the hospital, doctors perform an initial round of tests. They reveal that Kennedy is still suffering from strep throat, but the cause of her other symptoms remains a mystery.
They wanted to check for other things because at that point, they didn't know what we were dealing with.
As Cicely waits for answers, Kennedy's godmother, Tamara, comes to the hospital to offer her support.
I called Tamara because I needed somebody to keep me calm.
I tried to stay positive, but I'm looking at Kennedy, and she's in constant pain, and she's not getting any better.
For 1 week, doctors keep Kennedy in the hospital while they run further tests. But when the results come in, they show nothing unusual. So doctors conclude she probably has a virus that just needs to run its course.
They thought that it was a virus that contributed to strep throat, and strep throat had just really gotten out of hand.
We left very baffled, still not knowing what could be making this child so sick.
I was frustrated. I was afraid. What was wrong with her?
For the next several weeks, Kennedy's symptoms come and go.
I felt really weak. Like I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't have an appetite for anything.
She was losing so much weight so drastically.
Kennedy continues to see more doctors, but none can identify the cause of her illness. And it soon starts taking an emotional toll.
She still has sores on her mouth, her lips are swollen, so there were tears. She's a teenage girl. She didn't want anyone to see her.
Well, when I was home from school, they took yearbook pictures, which I didn't get to attend. At first, it didn't bother me until I wanted to look in the yearbook and be like, oh, there go me. And I wasn't in there because I was so sick. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't want to look in the mirror.
Then, 5 months after her daughter's symptoms first appeared, Cicely notices an alarming development. During one of her doctor's visits, Kennedy starts complaining of a new problem.
They were examining her, and when they pushed on her side, she almost jumped off the table. She kept saying, my side hurts, my left side hurts.
Doctors take an ultrasound of Kennedy's abdomen, and it reveals her spleen is enlarged. The spleen is vital for fighting off infections.
It seemed that her immune system was compromised. So they came back and said, we want to test her for leukemia.
Leukemia is a cancer of the body's bone marrow and blood. In most cases, the condition is caused by an abnormal production of white blood cells, which protect against disease. In up to a third of cases, it can also lead to death.
I wanted them to be wrong, but she wasn't getting any better. She had lost so much weight. She lost 30 pounds. Maybe they were right. Maybe she had leukemia.
For the past several weeks, 16-year-old Kennedy Odom has been experiencing severe headaches and painful sores on her mouth. Now, with her dramatic weight loss and no signs of improvement, doctors fear that she may be battling leukemia.
And I thought, not Kennedy. I was terrified.
But for Tamara, something about the idea feels off.
She's seen so many doctors. She's had so many tests done. I felt like if it was leukemia, they would have caught it way before this point. So as we're standing in this examination room with all of these doctors and they're arguing amongst themselves, I kept seeing the swelling, the redness. Everything else was pretty normal except for her mouth.
I see Tamara, and I can see her sitting there thinking, this is wrong.
So I simply asked if I thought the issue was in her mouth.
The doctors looked at her like, maybe she's on to something. What if we're missing something that's right in front of us?
A team of specialists is brought in to examine Kennedy's case. Among them is Dr. Mitchell Gadet.
So in Kennedy's situation, her lips are all red and swollen, but also her spleen was enlarged. And we know our spleen can be enlarged when we have an allergy of some sort.
Over the next 72 hours, doctors test a variety of potential allergens on Kennedy's skin.
They thought maybe it was food-based or maybe it was environmental allergies.
And one particular allergen triggers a severe reaction in Kennedy. But it's not something she would eat. And it may be the last thing doctors expect.
We found that Kennedy has severe nickel allergic syndrome.
A nickel allergy is the body's immune system's response to contact with the metal nickel. It's a relatively common condition, but Kennedy is suffering from a severe reaction known as systemic nickel allergy syndrome. It's triggering her fever, sores, and enlarged spleen. And Dr. Gadet suspects that because of her strep infection, Kennedy's allergic reaction is particularly severe.
Inside Kennedy, these allergens were causing her immune system to flare up. And then eventually she has the strep throat. Her immune system is going in hyperdrive, trying to fight off the infection. Her body is actually destroying itself, trying to get rid of this allergen. And somebody could die from that.
In the U.S., it's estimated that up to 15% of people suffer from some form of allergic reaction to metal. And one of the more common allergens is nickel. You can find nickel in a number of everyday things, from jewelry to clothes fasteners. Normally, it triggers little more than a rash, but in extreme cases, it can lead to difficulty breathing, organ failure, and even death.
I thought, this is a nightmare. What was it?
We still were left wondering what was causing her to be so sick.
So what exactly is triggering Kennedy's allergic reaction?
They told us this whole time it was her braces. I just never imagined something as so simple as trying to correct your child's mouth. I started thinking back, every time she had to go get a tightening, she would have bumps.
It was such a minor reaction at first that it really fools everyone into thinking this is just a normal reaction. Kids get braces put on, and there can be some bleeding and some redness in the tissue in the mouth. But as Kennedy continued to go through orthodontic treatment, her tissue was getting more inflamed, and it was getting more widespread.
Kennedy's braces are immediately removed. And over the next few days, her symptoms start to fade.
When they took the braces off, the bumps began to go away. She no longer was feeling lethargic. It was like an immediate change.
Today, Kennedy has made a full recovery.
She's bounced back with a great attitude. I know that she's going to do well in life. I'll tell her everything. She saved my baby.
We're just very relieved to have Kennedy back. Happy, full of life, laughing.
The best way to prevent a nickel allergy from developing is to avoid prolonged exposure to anything containing nickel. But that's easier said than done because nickel is present in so many things. There are home test kits available that allow you to check for nickel in metal products. It's also advisable to shop for jewelry made from nickel-free stainless steel, or titanium, or 18-karat yellow gold. And finally, look out for safe substitute materials like watch bands made of leather or plastic, and zippers and clothing fasteners made of coated metals.
Allergens can be avoided if you know where to look. But other monsters hide where you least expect.
I just buckled over with the pain of the headaches just taking over my body.
He was holding his head and had tears coming out of his eyes.
Rob Torgerson and Brenda Gilchrist live in Santa Rosa in Northern California.
Brenda was tiny and mighty. She had a little bit of sarcasm to her, and she was pretty. We just instantly hit it off.
Rob is strong, determined, and just a super sweet, nice guy. We tend to complement each other very well.
Rob works as a medical device engineer, and Brenda is a human resources consultant. But their real passion is travel and fitness.
We've been to China, France, Belize. We've also been to Hawaii, we've been to Mexico, and we've been to Costa Rica. It's nice to have that camaraderie, to the ability to travel together and see new things.
But this couple's taste for adventure comes at a cost. It's spring. Rob and Brenda are out enjoying the nice weather.
It was a beautiful day in California. So we went for a 2-mile open water swim and got done with the swim. And I could just start to feel like I was getting the goosebumps on my body. I just thought maybe I just had a cold, and I just think I should just go home and lie down.
Later that day, Brenda checks on Rob.
I felt his forehead, he felt warm, and then I grabbed the thermometer and took the temperature. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have 104-degree temperature. I was starting to get nervous because I'd always heard that high temperatures like that can be really dangerous. I said, let's cool you down, let's get you upstairs into the bathtub. He was really weak at that point, so it was hard to kind of pry him away from the couch. And I had to kind of be aggressive and say, Rob, go upstairs.
Brenda finally gets Rob into the bathroom.
I remember that was just brutal getting in that water, that's for sure.
The bath does help to bring down Rob's temperature. And that night, he's able to get some rest. But the following morning, his fever is back, along with another new symptom.
I started to develop like really bad headaches. It felt like my head was put in a vice grip and somebody would just kept turning the vice grip and kept turning the vice grip and kept turning it, and just, my head was just gonna be crushed. It was just a god-awful feeling.
After developing a high fever, Rob Torgerson is now also experiencing a piercing pain in his head. Given its severity, his wife Brenda takes him to the doctor.
Rob explained the symptoms. The doctor narrowed it down to with this sort of ice pick type of headache, and he said it seems like it's a cluster headache.
Cluster headaches are a series of relatively short but extremely painful headaches that reoccur every day for weeks or months at a time.
I was like, that's really strange because he's never gotten headaches before. And so the doctor said, well, why don't you guys go home, see how he's doing overnight. And then if he still has the fever and isn't feeling well, then let us know tomorrow.
But by the next morning, Rob's condition hasn't improved. So Brenda takes him back to the doctor.
Rob said, the only thing that makes me feel better, Brenda, is if I just have a bag of ice on my head. So we got the bag of ice and he was holding it on his head while we were waiting in the waiting room. I was extremely worried. We've been traveling and I was starting to get worried that it was related to our trip.
Eventually, a doctor comes to look at Rob and is immediately concerned.
He just looked at me and he said, somebody of your health should not be sitting in my waiting room with bag ice on your head.
The doctor tells Brenda to take Rob straight to the hospital, where he's examined by another team of physicians.
I said, well, maybe it is something from when we were traveling.
But the doctors pay little attention to Brenda, and instead focus on Rob's high fever and stabbing headaches.
No one seemed to take it serious that we had been traveling. The doctor basically said he seems to be really dealing with something more, in his head.
Suspecting a neurological issue, the doctors order a round of tests to look more closely at Rob's brain.
I got MRIs done, MRAs, ultrasounds, CAT scans, everything.
But the results failed to provide answers. So doctors admit Rob for observation and further testing. And that night, while Rob is sleeping, his condition takes a bizarre turn.
I remember thinking that there were people kind of running around the room. There was this like guy with a spear kind of thing running around. Things were getting worse and getting worse quickly. It was frightening.
The next morning, when doctors hear about Rob's hallucinations, they have a new theory as to what's wrong with him.
They said, oh, well, we think he might have meningitis.
Meningitis is the inflammation of the membranes around the brain and spinal cord. It can be caused by a virus, or in some cases, a parasite.
I was feeling really scared for Rob.
The doctors do a spinal tap, but it doesn't provide any answers.
And they ruled out meningitis. They still were at a loss as far as what was happening. It was really frustrating.
Over the next few hours, as doctors struggle to figure out what's wrong, Brenda notices a sharp turn in Rob's health.
Rob's skin looked gray. It looked like the blood was just draining out of him. And the doctor said there's an onset of liver failure and kidney failure. My husband's, I'm gonna cry. It's like, my husband is dying.
Rob Torgerson has been suffering crushing headaches and bizarre hallucinations, but doctors are at a loss to explain why. So Rob's wife, Brenda, decides to take matters into her own hands.
I started to get resourceful and call as many people as I could to say, my husband's in the hospital, my husband's, I'm gonna cry. It's like, my husband is dying, and I can't get any help. I've tried to do everything I can. Can you please help me?
Through a friend, Brenda is put in touch with a physician who studies infectious diseases, Dr. Charlie Evans.
I got a call from Brenda who said that her husband was hospitalized and wasn't getting better and was concerned that he wasn't getting proper treatment.
Dr. Evans explains that it's hard to say what could be wrong with Rob without seeing his medical information and lab results. So Brenda goes over to the nurse's station.
I asked the nurse, can I have Rob's medical records? And at that point she said, no, I'm sorry, that's confidential information. And I said, well, I'm his wife. I'd like to see his records.
But the nurse won't hand them over. So Brenda does something drastic.
When the nurse walked away, I took the medical record. I started flipping through, trying to find pages of information that had what looked like labs on it.
Brenda sends the results to Dr. Evans, and he pores over the information until he comes across something troubling.
He had evidence of pneumonia. I was concerned about that.
Dr. Evans goes back to Brenda for more information, including any recent trips her and Rob have taken.
Brenda was a very serious historian about telling me about where they'd been.
I explained that we had just gotten back from Costa Rica.
For Dr. Evans, it's the missing piece of the puzzle.
Just knowing where he had been gave me a good suspicion that we were dealing with an unusual disease that we don't see very often in this country.
Dr. Evans believes Rob's body is under attack from a deadly intruder.
Based on Rob's symptoms, I suspected he had leptospirosis.
Leptospirosis is caused by the bacteria Leptospira. Inside Rob's body, the Leptospira bacteria are attacking his vital organs, leading to his headaches, fever, and organ failure.
I had never heard of leptospirosis.
Leptospirosis is a dangerous disease because it's able to avoid the immune system. This is because inside the body, the Leptospira bacteria have the ability to move in a corkscrew motion, making it hard for the immune cells to attach. This allows the disease to progress unhindered and eventually can lead to liver, kidney, and respiratory failure, and in the most extreme cases, even death.
He had a significant infection. And when you develop a pneumonia, those are the fatal cases.
That was a scary moment. Death. Scared me.
Rob remains in the hospital. But now, on Dr. Evans' advice, he's put on a specialized antibiotic called doxycycline. And while the powerful medication works to fight off the Leptospira bacteria, Rob is left to ponder how he contracted it in the first place.
Leptospira bacteria thrive in tropical and subtropical regions, particularly in mud and fresh water. They're carried by cattle, pigs, dogs, and rodents, but humans can also contract the bacteria when they come into contact with urine from infected animals, most often through broken skin or the mucous membranes.
Rob remembers a few weeks before getting sick, he and Brenda went ziplining in Costa Rica. Afterwards, to cool off, he took a swim under a waterfall.
We believe it was in this pond, and so jumping in, whether it got my ears, my eyes, my nose, we're not sure. But that's where we believe we got it.
Rob is given another dose of doxycycline.
Because of it.
In the US, leptospirosis is extremely rare. There are only about 100 to 200 cases identified each year. The CDC recommends that people who live in or travel through endemic regions avoid swimming or wading in water that might be contaminated with animal urine. And anyone exposed because of their job or recreational activities should wear protective clothing and footwear.
While some monsters act with terrifying speed, others wreak havoc over time.
I felt like there was something essentially eating the inside of my stomach.
I was absolutely worried about her. You could just tell that she was sick.
Charlie Hebert lives in Kingwood, Texas. The location allows her to stay close to her mother, Tanya.
My mom is one of my closest friends. She knows my secrets, I know her secrets.
I talk to her every day. Charlie's just a really good person. She makes friends everywhere that she goes.
One of those friends is Charlie's longtime pal, Taylor Sappington.
The things I like about Charlie, she's outgoing, she's lovable, she's fun. She's just like a sister.
Taylor's my partner in crime. She's a very funny person, no nonsense. We have a very, very close relationship.
One Friday night, Charlie and her friend Taylor return home from a local bar.
At the end of the night, me and Taylor went to her house where I was staying with her for the night. When we got home, I began to feel nauseous. My stomach felt like it was churning, like it wasn't settling properly.
Charlie told me that she wasn't feeling well, that her stomach was uneasy. I wasn't concerned. I just thought maybe she had gotten something that didn't agree with her stomach at the restaurant.
Taylor told me to suck it up, that people get sick, that I would just sleep it off.
For the next 2 weeks, Charlie's symptoms seem to fade. Then, one evening, she goes out to eat with her friend Taylor.
There's a restaurant that Taylor and I like to go to where they have a crawfish pizza that we would order regularly.
And all of a sudden, Charlie's symptoms return.
The heartburn was almost immediate. It felt like as soon as it hit my stomach that it didn't agree with me.
Charlie told me again, she was like, my stomach's kind of feeling nauseous.
Charlie takes some antacid, hoping to relieve the discomfort. But it has the opposite effect.
I woke up the next morning and I did, in fact, vomit. But something else happened that I was not expecting. I had pretty severe diarrhea. I was concerned before I could eat whatever I wanted to, and I felt fine. I didn't know what was going on.
That afternoon, Charlie phones her mother, Tanya.
Charlie told me, Mom, there's something going on with my stomach. She told me about the vomiting. I knew basically every weekend that she was going out. I just assumed it was connected to drinking on the weekends. So I told her, you need to try laying off of the drinking.
For the next few weeks, Charlie follows her mother's advice.
All the symptoms that I was experiencing went away. It was almost like a flood of relief.
More than 2 months after her symptoms first appeared, Charlie begins to think her life is finally back on track. She even finds a new job working for a local logistics company. And to celebrate the achievement, one weekend she goes out with friends. But the following Monday morning, Charlie's hopes for a healthy future come crashing down.
After the weekend of celebration, I didn't feel great. I went to work anyway. It was a new job.
Throughout the morning, Charlie is constantly pulled away from her desk.
I was going back and forth to the restroom. I was either vomiting or had diarrhea. I was worried my upper management would see that I seemed disinterested or that I didn't want to be at the office.
But later that afternoon, when Charlie gets sick again, there's a troubling new development.
It was something that I hadn't seen before. I didn't know what it was.
Over the past few weeks, Charlie Hebert has been vomiting and suffering from severe bouts of nausea. And now, there's a new symptom.
I noticed something in my vomit that I hadn't seen before. There was a black substance that looked almost like coffee grounds. I was confused. I didn't eat anything black the night before. I didn't drink anything that may have looked like that. At that point, I Googled what I saw. The results came back and said that it was very likely that I had vomited blood.
The next day, Charlie makes an urgent appointment with a gastroenterologist.
So the doctor took a physical exam of my stomach. Also decided to do blood work because of the vomiting.
When the results come in, they suggest something startling. Charlie's problems are likely down to a common digestive issue.
He thought I may have stomach ulcers.
Stomach ulcers are open sores that form in the upper digestive tract. They occur when digestive juices eat away at the lining of the stomach or small intestine.
I was relieved. I was thinking it was maybe cancer.
The doctor told me that it was most likely stress-induced, that my diet was causing issues. So he prescribed an over-the-counter heartburn medication.
But over the next 2 weeks, Charlie continues to experience her nausea, vomiting, and digestive problems. And following a business trip, Tanya stops in for a visit and is troubled by the change in her daughter.
I had purchased a bunch of clothes for Charlie because she had just gotten a new job. But the pants didn't fit her, which was unusual. I had purchased for her many times in the past when she never had any problems with the sizes.
I noticed that I had looked different, but it wasn't until my mom bought me several new outfits that I realized how much my body had changed. I had lost probably about 15 pounds.
Tanya insists that Charlie return to the hospital. Chad Birch is part of the medical team that takes on her case.
Because of the generality of the symptoms, cramping, nausea, vomiting, it can mean a number of things.
Doctors explain that the symptoms could indicate anything from a stomach virus to colon cancer. So they analyze blood and stool samples and perform an endoscopy on her digestive tract.
I was very anxious to maybe finally have an answer as to what was going on. I felt like there was something essentially eating the inside of my stomach. But when the results came back, they showed nothing.
Doctors tell Charlie they'll continue to analyze her other tests in the lab. But for now, she's sent home, still not knowing why she's so ill.
I was absolutely worried about her. You could just tell that she was sick.
It's very scary to think that this could be something that I'd be dealing with for the rest of my life.
Then, 3 weeks after her last doctor's visit, Charlie gets some surprising news.
I received a call while I was at work, and my doctor's office told me, "Hey, Charlie, we found something."
Based on one of her stool samples, doctors finally know what's making her sick. And it's not a stomach ulcer or a common digestive issue.
I have no clue where this could have come from.
Charlie Hebert has been suffering from severe weight loss, nausea, and vomiting. And now, doctors have uncovered the source of her illness.
The doctors told me I had a parasite living inside of me. I was very shocked that there was a living creature inside of me that was essentially eating the inside of my stomach and my intestines.
Charlie has unknowingly played host to one of the most destructive parasites on the planet.
Charlie was infected with Entamoeba histolytica.
Entamoeba histolytica is a dangerous parasite that infiltrates the digestive tract.
I had never heard of it before.
Inside Charlie's body, microscopic pathogens are destroying the tissue in her intestines. By gnawing away at the cells, they trigger her nausea, diarrhea, and abdominal pain.
When it gets into the bloodstream, the Entamoeba histolytica infection can actually kill somebody within 12 to 72 hours.
I was very scared. You've heard of things like this happening, but you don't expect it to happen to somebody that you know, much less your child having it.
Entamoeba histolytica typically attacks the large intestine, but can also penetrate the intestinal wall and spread via the blood to the liver, the brain, and other organs. The infection occurs worldwide, but is mostly found in the tropics, in areas that are crowded with poor sanitation. Each year, this parasite kills over 100,000 people, making it one of the deadliest on the planet.
Hoping to kill the parasite, doctors immediately place Charlie on an intense course of antiparasitic drugs. Then, 3 weeks after she begins taking the medication, Charlie notices a change.
I did start to feel relief. It seemed like the treatment was working.
The life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica starts with cysts that can be found in soil, food, or water contaminated with feces. If the cysts are ingested by a host, they travel down the digestive tract to the intestines. There, the parasite emerges from the cyst and quickly multiplies, producing more cysts. It's estimated that Entamoeba histolytica can produce up to 45 million cysts a day.
Charlie cannot be sure how she contracted the parasite, but she thinks she probably picked up the infection while dining out.
And I think that's the scariest part. It's really in the hands of other people to practice personal hygiene and to practice food safety.
Today, Charlie is parasite-free.
I don't have any lasting side effects. Life is back to normal.
She's doing very well today. Her personality is just as big as it ever was.
Second to malaria, Entamoeba histolytica is one of the most prevalent parasites on the planet. It's estimated that each year, worldwide, as many as 50 million people will be infected. Thankfully, in the US, cases are relatively rare. But experts recommend that travelers to endemic regions regularly wash their hands and avoid consuming raw produce or unfiltered water that could be tainted.
Have you ever wondered why some people continue to thrive with energy and joy well into their 80s and beyond, while others struggle with health challenges that make life feel harder? Imagine unlocking the secrets to not just adding years to your life, but adding life to your years. In this video, we'll delve deep into the hidden factors that influence how we age, revealing what can speed up the aging process and what can help slow it down. Why should you watch until the end? Because you'll discover actionable strategies backed by real-life studies that can help you or your loved ones maintain strength, improve mental clarity, and enhance overall well-being. From understanding and combating sarcopenia and malnutrition caused by loneliness to incorporating simple daily habits like walking, meditation, and staying socially active, we'll provide you with practical tips that you can start implementing right away. Stay with us to learn how even small changes can make a significant impact on your health and vitality as you age. Whether you're looking to improve your quality of life or support someone you care about, this video offers valuable insights and proven methods to help you navigate the aging journey with confidence and optimism. Don't miss out on these life-changing tips that could transform your golden years into the best years of your life. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Understanding sarcopenia. As we gracefully age, we begin to notice changes in our bodies that we never expected. Aches and pains that linger a little longer, stiffness that doesn't quite go away, and a noticeable loss of strength. For many older adults, one of the most significant and often devastating changes that happen as we get older is sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is a term that might sound unfamiliar or technical, but in reality, it is a condition that impacts millions of seniors around the world, and its effects are quietly undermining their quality of life every day. I want to take a moment to talk about this condition, its consequences, what it means, and how we can fight back. You've probably heard an older loved one say something like, "I just don't have the strength to take a walk anymore," or "I feel so weak, I can barely get around the house." Have you ever had that painful conversation where you see someone you care about struggling with something so preventable? It's heartbreaking to watch. These words aren't just casual complaints, they are symptoms of sarcopenia. And when you think about it, they're a cry for help, a signal that something vital is slipping away. Sarcopenia occurs when the muscles in our body, which are responsible for keeping us mobile and strong, begin to waste away due to a lack of use. The unfortunate truth is that as we age, our muscles naturally lose strength. However, the process speeds up dramatically when we become less active or sedentary. Many of us, as we get older, stop moving as much. Whether it's because of pain, fear of falling, or simply because we no longer have the energy to do the things we once loved. We might start to feel like we can't do the things we used to do, and then, over time, that inactivity takes a physical toll. It's not just about missing out on walks in the park or not being able to carry groceries anymore. When muscles aren't used, the loss of strength becomes a vicious cycle. You see, the longer we stay inactive, the quicker the muscle loss accelerates, leading to a significant reduction in balance and coordination, making falls much more likely. And let me tell you, falls in older adults are often devastating. A fall can result in broken bones, hip fractures, and a host of other complications that don't just heal overnight. They can result in years of pain, disability, and sometimes permanent loss of mobility. And for many older adults, a fall is the beginning of a downward health spiral from which recovery is nearly impossible. However, the physical damage from sarcopenia doesn't stop with mobility loss and the risk of injury. It goes deeper than that. Muscles aren't just for movement. They play a crucial role in regulating many other vital functions in our body. When our muscles waste away, we begin to lose vital muscle mass that helps support the immune system, regulate hormones, and even protect our brain health. Muscle tissue is like a silent powerhouse. It produces compounds that keep us feeling energized, help keep our hormones balanced, and support cognitive function. Without strong muscles, our bodies struggle to maintain optimal health in so many ways. The immune system weakens, leaving us more vulnerable to illnesses like pneumonia or infections. Our hormones can become imbalanced, leading to mood swings, sleep issues, and even changes in appetite. As the muscle mass shrinks, cognitive decline can set in, leading to difficulty concentrating, memory loss, and even an increased risk of dementia. It's like the body's internal system begins to shut down, little by little, and we're left to watch helplessly as things we once took for granted slip away. But here's the most important thing you need to know. It's never too late to start fighting back. I know it may sound discouraging, especially when you feel like your body has already gone through so much. But please don't give up. The human body is incredibly resilient, and the good news is that research has shown it's never too late to reverse some of the damage caused by sarcopenia. I want to share with you an inspiring study that came out of Japan, a study that shows how powerful the human spirit can be when we take action. The study found that even individuals in their 90s, who were dealing with significant muscle loss, were able to regain a substantial amount of strength by simply starting an exercise program. And here's the incredible part. Those who began exercising lived an average of 7 years longer than those who remained sedentary. 7 years. Can you imagine the extra time you could spend with the people you love, enjoying more moments of laughter, love, and connection? Can you picture yourself being able to walk again, to feel that energy flow through your body, to regain some of the freedom and independence that may feel lost right now? It's not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. I know it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the thought of starting an exercise routine, especially if you haven't been very active for a while. But it doesn't have to be anything extreme. Small steps, like gentle stretching or short walks, can be incredibly effective. You don't have to run a marathon or even go to the gym to make a difference. The key is consistency and finding movements that work for your body. If you start slow and steady, you can begin to see improvements in your strength, balance, and energy levels. And even though you might not feel the immediate effects right away, trust me, your body is starting to heal and rebuild from the inside out. So, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone in this journey. It's never too late to fight back against sarcopenia and reclaim your vitality. No matter your age, there are always steps you can take to improve your health and restore your strength. It may be intimidating at first, but take it one day at a time, one small victory at a time. The important thing is to start now, to make the decision that you will not let this silent thief steal any more from you. Reclaim your power. Reclaim your health. Reclaim your life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Together, we can prove that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean rebirth, renewal, and rediscovery of strength and joy. It's never too late to start, and the rewards are worth it. The future is waiting for you, and there's so much life left to live. Keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps may be. You are worth it. 2. Malnutrition caused by loneliness. Malnutrition is an insidious, often overlooked problem that silently affects countless older adults, particularly those who live alone. It's easy to miss, especially when the signs are subtle at first, yet its effects are far-reaching and devastating. If you've ever observed your parents or grandparents, you might have noticed that they appear thinner, weaker, or less energetic than before. Perhaps you've asked them, "Are you eating enough?" And they've reassured you, "I'm fine, I'm eating 3 meals a day." And yet, something feels off. There's a quiet unease that lingers because despite of their reassurances, you know that something isn't right. It's not that they aren't eating, it's that they're not eating the right foods, or they're simply not eating enough of what their aging bodies need to thrive. This is a heartbreaking reality for many seniors. Malnutrition is not just a matter of not eating enough, it's about not consuming the right nutrients, especially crucial ones like protein. Sadly, many elderly individuals don't have access to the nutrition they need. According to studies, a shocking 73% of seniors over 80 suffer from some form of malnutrition, a statistic that underscores the severity of this hidden epidemic. The issue isn't about eating too little, it's about eating the wrong things. It's not uncommon for elderly individuals to opt for simpler meals because cooking a full, balanced meal for just one person can feel like an overwhelming chore. When you live alone, it's easy to skip vital nutrients, choosing a slice of toast, a bowl of soup, or a quick snack rather than preparing something that's truly nourishing. These small choices, made repeatedly over time, start to add up in ways that can't be ignored. It's a slow, silent erosion of health that becomes harder to reverse the longer it continues. Without proper nutrition, the body struggles to maintain its strength, particularly the muscles, which are crucial for mobility and independence. If your body doesn't get enough protein, it becomes increasingly difficult to retain muscle mass, and this is where the problem of sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, becomes so much worse. When muscles begin to deteriorate, everyday activities, like getting out of a chair, walking, or even standing, become more challenging and dangerous. But the physical toll is only part of the problem. There's an emotional and psychological impact that cannot be overlooked. The devastating truth is that eating alone often leads to feelings of loneliness, isolation, and even depression. Research shows that seniors who regularly eat by themselves are 2.7 times more likely to suffer from depression. There is something profoundly sad about sitting at a table alone, eating a meal that should be shared, but feeling disconnected from the world. Meals are supposed to be times of togetherness, sharing stories, laughing, and connecting with others. But when you're eating by yourself, there's no one to share those moments with. The absence of companionship makes each meal feel heavier, as though something vital is missing, and that feeling of loneliness starts to compound over time, taking a toll on mental health. It's not just the food itself that's lacking, it's the shared experience of a meal. Food can bring people together, but when that shared experience is absent, it leaves a void. For older adults who live alone, this isolation often leads to a deep sense of disconnection from the world around them. It becomes harder to take care of themselves, both physically and emotionally. When no one is there to remind them to eat properly, to encourage them to stay healthy, it's easy for them to fall into unhealthy patterns. Whether it's eating too little, eating the wrong things, or simply losing the will to care for themselves. It's a tragic cycle that can worsen over time, affecting both their physical and mental well-being. If you've ever noticed these signs in a loved one or felt a pang of worry as you've watched them struggle alone, know that you're not the only one who feels this way. So many of us carry this concern in our hearts, unsure of how to help or what to do. But there is hope, and there are simple, meaningful actions we can take to make a significant difference in the lives of those we care about. The key is encouraging shared meals, whether it's inviting a loved one to join you for dinner or encouraging them to participate in community meal programs where they can connect with others. These small acts of kindness can truly transform their experience of eating, turning it from a solitary, lonely act into a joyful, shared moment of connection. Meals are not just about nourishing the body, they're about nourishing the soul. Sharing food, telling stories, and laughing together at the dinner table creates bonds that go far beyond just satisfying hunger. These shared moments of togetherness help to combat feelings of isolation and loneliness. They lift the spirit and remind seniors that they are seen, heard, and valued. Eating with others can provide the emotional support and companionship that so many elderly individuals desperately need. It's through these shared meals that we find strength, connection, and the joy that sustains us through the challenges of aging. Encouraging our loved ones to share their meals with others, whether through family gatherings or community meal programs, can help break the cycle of isolation and malnutrition, fostering an environment of care and compassion that will make a world of difference in their lives. The emotional impact of shared meals is immense, far beyond what we may realize. It's a simple yet powerful way to provide love, comfort, and companionship, ensuring that our aging loved ones feel connected, cared for, and valued. So, the next time you see an elderly person eating alone, remember the far-reaching consequences of that solitude. Reach out, invite them to share a meal, and you may find that it's not just their body that's nourished, but their spirit as well. 3. The dangers of inactivity. The issue of inactivity is one that I cannot help but feel deeply concerned about, especially when it comes to the health and well-being of those we love. We all know that feeling of wanting to protect those closest to us from suffering. It's only natural to want them to rest when they are tired, to ensure they feel safe and comfortable when they are unwell or weak. But over time, I've come to realize that what we often see as an act of kindness can, in reality, be something far more dangerous. I've seen it happen with my own eyes, how the desire to protect our loved ones from any further discomfort can lead to even greater harm. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. When we encourage too much rest, thinking it will help them regain strength, we overlook something incredibly important. Extended periods of inactivity can be just as harmful to the body as smoking a pack of cigarettes each day. At first, this might sound like an exaggeration, but when you think about it, it's not far from the truth. What so many of us don't realize is that staying in bed for too long or sitting motionless for hours can have serious consequences. It's not just about feeling sluggish or stiff. It's about real damage to the body, to the bones, the heart, and even the brain. The impact can be incredibly debilitating, and it's heartbreaking to witness. We think we're showing love by helping our loved ones avoid strain, but instead, we're unknowingly leading them down a path of further decline. The consequences of inactivity aren't just a little soreness or discomfort. They can cause deep, lasting damage. For example, inactivity leads to weaker bones and muscle loss. Without the pressure of movement, the bones lose density, making them more brittle and prone to fractures. In the heart, a lack of movement results in diminished circulation and decreased heart function, which can lead to a host of cardiovascular problems. But what's perhaps even more devastating is the toll inactivity takes on the brain. Studies have shown that too much rest can lead to cognitive decline, making it harder for older adults to think, remember important details, or even engage in conversations. It's deeply painful to think about how all of this can stem from something we thought was harmless: rest. However, I'm also a firm believer in the power of hope, and there is something deeply uplifting about the truth that we can do something about this. The best part is that it doesn't take some monumental change. It's the small, consistent actions that truly make a difference. Even just 30 minutes of light activity a day, whether it's a brisk walk, gentle stretching, or even chair exercises, can have a profound impact. A study from Stanford showed that this simple habit can extend a senior's life by an average of 3.7 years. When I read this, I couldn't help but feel a surge of relief. The idea that something so small, so manageable, can not only preserve life but improve the quality of it, it's nothing short of life-changing. I think we often underestimate the power of movement, thinking that anything less than intense exercise won't matter, but it does. Just imagine what a difference that can make. When we incorporate a little movement into our daily routine, we're not just improving our physical strength. We're boosting our mental clarity, increasing energy levels, and even lifting the dark clouds of depression that so often hang over the elderly. I think this is where the true magic lies. Movement is not just about keeping our bodies in check. It's about keeping our minds alive, vibrant, and sharp. It's about creating a life worth living, full of energy and possibility. What's even more beautiful is that this doesn't require anything extreme. We don't have to push ourselves or our loved ones to go above and beyond. It's not about running marathons or engaging in high-intensity workouts that might feel overwhelming. It's about understanding that the key lies in moderation. Small, consistent efforts are what will make all the difference in the long run. Whether it's a short walk around the block, some gentle stretching in the living room, or even standing and moving around a little bit each hour. These small habits, when done consistently, can profoundly improve mobility and overall well-being. We should never underestimate how much even the smallest action can do. As I've seen in my own life and the lives of those around me, these small changes are often the ones that lead to the greatest transformations. Whether it's a simple stretch in the morning or an afternoon walk with a loved one, moving a part of our daily routine can completely shift the way we live. It's not just about living longer. It's about living with strength, joy, and clarity. So, when I think about how much we can gain from just a little effort each day, I can't help but feel a sense of peace and gratitude. The idea that we have the power to take control of our health, to improve not only our physical state but also our mental and emotional well-being, is incredibly powerful. It's a reminder that we are never helpless. We don't need to rely solely on doctors or medications. We can take small, deliberate steps every day to care for ourselves and our loved ones. It's a simple truth that holds immeasurable power. Movement is life. And it's never too late to begin. Whether it's a walk in the park, gentle yoga stretches, or simply standing up every once in a while to stretch, movement can be the catalyst for change. Let's make it a priority, today and every day. 4. Proactive tips to combat aging and stay vibrant. Aging is a journey, one that brings its fair share of challenges, but also a wealth of wisdom and opportunities for growth. The key to navigating this chapter of life lies in remaining proactive, taking charge of your health and well-being every step of the way. It's easy to feel like time is slipping away, but with the right mindset and actions, you can continue to thrive. Let's explore some actionable tips that can truly make a world of difference, keeping you vibrant, healthy, and full of life as the years go by. Keep your brain engaged. As the years pass, it's not uncommon to notice changes in our mental sharpness. It can be disheartening at times, but I believe we have the power to fight back against mental decline. Our brains are remarkable, capable of remaining sharp and alert well into old age, but they need our attention and care. Engaging in brain exercises daily can make all the difference. Whether it's solving puzzles, reading thought-provoking books, journaling your thoughts and reflections, or learning something entirely new, these activities help preserve and even enhance mental clarity. Think of your brain like a muscle. It needs constant exercise to stay strong and agile. By challenging yourself with new information and stimulating experiences, you're actively preventing cognitive decline and ensuring that you continue to grow and evolve, no matter your age. Stay social. I can't stress enough how important it is to nurture your social connections as you age. Life has a way of isolating us, especially when getting out of the house becomes more challenging. But even in those moments when you feel like retreating into solitude, it's essential to make an effort to stay connected. Social interactions, whether through phone calls, video chats, or face-to-face meetings, are just as crucial for your health as eating well or staying active. I've seen firsthand how these connections can lift your spirits, reduce loneliness, and provide a sense of belonging. They remind us that we're not alone in our journey, and they offer a comfort that no medication can provide. Being social isn't just about chatting. It's about sharing our lives, learning from others, and supporting each other through thick and thin. These relationships bring joy, laughter, and meaning, which all contribute to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Prioritize sleep. As we age, sleep becomes even more vital to our overall well-being. It's something I've learned to appreciate more deeply as time goes on. A restful night's sleep doesn't just leave us feeling refreshed, It impacts everything from our immune system to our mental clarity. It's like the reset button we all need after the challenges of the day. If sleep isn't coming easily, consider creating a bedtime routine that soothes both your mind and body. Reduce screen time before bed, try deep breathing exercises, or meditate to calm your thoughts. Trust me, your body will thank you for it. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity, and as you get older, giving yourself the gift of rest is one of the best things you can do for your health. Hydrate. It's so easy to forget the importance of hydration, especially when you're juggling so many responsibilities and concerns. But staying hydrated is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to care for yourself as you age. Dehydration can sneak up on you, causing confusion, dizziness, and a host of other health issues. I can't tell you how often I've heard people say they didn't realize how much of a difference it made until they started drinking more water. Aim for at least 8 cups a day, and if you're active, don't hesitate to increase that amount. Your body is made up of so much water, and by replenishing it, you're supporting your organs, your mind, and your overall vitality. It's a small act, but it has such a profound impact on your well-being. Stay curious and keep learning. One of the most beautiful things about aging is that it gives us the time and freedom to truly explore our passions and interests. Lifelong learning is such a powerful tool for staying vibrant. It keeps your mind fresh and your spirit alive. I've seen people who take classes, watch documentaries, or dive into subjects that excite them, and their lives are richer because of it. Whether it's learning a new language, picking up a new hobby, or studying a topic that has always intrigued you, learning provides a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It reminds us that we are never too old to grow, evolve, and discover something new. Staying curious opens the door to a world of possibilities, and it ensures that you don't just live, but truly thrive. Express gratitude daily. Gratitude is a practice that has the power to transform our lives. It's easy to get caught up in what we don't have or what we've lost, especially as we age, but there's so much beauty in pausing to appreciate what we do have. I've found that taking a moment each day to reflect on the things I'm grateful for brings so much peace and joy into my life. Studies show that practicing gratitude not only improves mental health but also boosts our immune system and reduces stress. It shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, from worry to contentment. It's a simple habit, but it can change your entire outlook on life. Take a moment every day, even if it's just for a few minutes, to express gratitude for the people you love, the experiences you've had, and the simple joys that make life so precious. Incorporating these tips into your daily life can make a world of difference, not just for your health, but for your spirit. Aging doesn't have to be a process of decline. It can be an opportunity to flourish, to embrace life with open arms, and to continue becoming the best version of yourself. I truly believe that with the right mindset and actions, we can stay vibrant, engaged, and full of love for many years to come. 5. Walking meditation. Walking meditation is one of the most cherished practices among centenarians, with many crediting it as a key part of their longevity and vitality. It's a deceptively simple practice that can have profound effects on both the body and the mind. Walking meditation involves moving at a slow, deliberate pace, inhaling deeply, and grounding yourself in the present moment. This sacred form of mindfulness has been scientifically shown to slow the process of muscle loss, enhance the immune system, and even lower the risk of conditions such as dementia and depression. It's a poignant reminder that, often, it's the simplest of acts, when done with full presence, that can have the most lasting and significant impact on our overall health and well-being. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In our fast-paced, overscheduled lives, we tend to overlook the power of being still, of truly connecting with ourselves and the world around us. But walking meditation is a practice that reawakens the power of slowness. It serves as a gentle but constant invitation to pause, breathe, and reflect. It teaches us that we don't have to be constantly moving or chasing after something to nurture ourselves. Sometimes, the most healing thing we can do is simply to walk with intention, allowing our minds to settle into peace with each step. How to start walking meditation. Start early in the morning. There's something so refreshing about the morning air. It feels like the world has just woken up with you, offering a clean slate and a chance to breathe in a fresh start. The quiet and calm of the early morning hours help you connect deeply with nature, embracing its serene energy. It's in these moments that the weight of yesterday begins to lift, and the beauty of the present unfolds. Start small. Don't feel like you have to dive in for an hour right away. If you're just beginning, try 5 minutes of walking meditation. Just 5 minutes of slowing down, breathing deeply, and allowing yourself to become centered. As you ease into the practice, you'll find that your body and mind naturally crave more time, and before you know it, those 5 minutes will stretch into something even more enriching. Find a natural setting. Nature has this incredible ability to soothe the spirit and rejuvenate the soul. Walking meditation is at its most transformative when you immerse yourself in the sights and sounds of nature. Whether it's a quiet park, a nature trail, or a peaceful garden. These green spaces are not just beautiful. They're living reminders of the peace that can be found when we simply allow ourselves to be present. Focus on your breath. Your breath is more than just the air that fills your lungs. It's the very essence of life itself. As you walk, focus on the rhythm of your breath. Deep, slow breaths calm the mind, center your thoughts, and fill your body with much-needed oxygen, which nourishes every cell and supports your well-being. In this space, you'll find that the world around you fades, and the stillness inside becomes more profound. Be consistent. The magic of walking meditation lies in its consistency. Even if you can only spare 20 minutes a day, this practice can work wonders. It might not seem like much at first, but with each step, you'll notice subtle shifts. More peace, greater clarity, and a deeper sense of connection. Make it a daily habit, and over time, you'll see the lasting benefits ripple through your life. As we wrap up today's exploration of walking meditation and its incredible benefits, I hope you've gained some valuable insights into how something so simple can deeply enhance both your mental and physical well-being. The power of mindfulness, slowing down and truly being present in the moment, is a tool we can all carry with us in our busy lives. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're excited to bring into your own life? Maybe it's the calming effects of focusing on your breath or the simple joy of connecting with nature. Whatever it is, leave a comment below and share how you plan to incorporate it into your daily routine. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing how walking meditation will be a part of your journey toward better health and mindfulness.